I have a question for you guys. Now, would you consider buying a 125cc motorcycle for 1.2 lakhs? Well, if I could, I probably would. And if you guys can, you probably should. Why, you ask? Well, because this 125 is KTM's original pocket rocket. I'm Mulgun, you're watching PowerDrift, and today we're bringing you all the dope on this baby group. Now globally, the Duke brand has been around since long before Shaktiman was trending here in India. But the real phase shift happened beyond 2010, when this bike built in India for the globe went on to become Europe's highest selling performance 125cc. But we never got to taste this original pocket rocket. But what we did get instead was a clever engineering hack, a longer stroke, a bigger bore, and voila, you had the Duke 200. So there we have the Duke 200, the game changer, and the Duke 125, the original pocket rocket. And now that it's here, coming to India, here are 5 things that you absolutely should know about it. Number 1, the looks and styling. Right off the bat, this looks exactly like the older generation Duke 200. Sure, there are some new stickers here and there, but after all, this is still a Kiska design that blew our mind back in the days. And today, it is strangely nostalgic. Moving on to number 2, ergonomics and build quality. The moment I swung a leg over, I was immediately engulfed in that all too familiar posture. The Duke 125 sits upright, yet ever so slightly committed. The touch and feel of the bike is exactly like the Duke 200, pleasantly nostalgic. The switch gears work with an affirmative click, the body panels merge seamlessly, and the build quality all over the bike is just excellent. No complaints. Number 3, and here's where things get really interesting for you and I. Now this is a bike that is substantially faster than the average 125cc. 0 to 60 comes in at around 6 seconds, and the bike keeps pushing all the way up to 114 kilometers an hour before hitting the rev limiter. And that is hugely because this is a bike that is built unlike any other 125. 4 valves, liquid cooling, short stroke single, pumping out 15 PS of power and 12 Nm of torque. This though has a huge appetite for rev. It finds its sweet spot beyond 6,500 RPM, and it quickly reminds you to upshift at 10.5. There's 6 speeds of happiness to shift through, and should you hit the rev limiter at 10,500 RPM, it does not feel like the brick wall you hit on the 390s limiter. So all in all, the 125 has hugely eased the Duke experience. But then again, is there more? More is on number 4, braking and handling. Well, there is the radially mounted biber calipers at the front with steel braided lines. Squeeze the lever and you've got a sharp initial bite and enough progression to modulate it. And should you be reckless with it, there is still the single channel ABS that has got your back. This, in tandem with the 43mm USDs and adequate amounts of grip from the MRFs, provide a nice responsive feel from the front end. Number 5, refinement. Now this is undoubtedly an eager and a very urgent engine, but then again it has matured quite well over the past 7 years. What you do get on the Duke 125 today is a well-rounded, evolved, refined engine that has ironed out most of the harshness from the previous generation Dukes. At this point in time, the Duke 125 scores 5 out of 5, and I risk sounding like a huge sellout. So let's address the big elephant in the room. Does it really justify the 1.2 lakh rupee price tag? Well, that's a complicated question. And the short answer is, no, it does not. But then again, you're wondering why, despite the 5 out of 5? Well, because we saw the global Duke 125 at our EICMA coverage, and we know this for a fact that the global 125 gets split LED headlamps, colored TFT screen, and that sick 390 styling. Whereas we don't get that even on the Duke 200. So then, is this more of a stock clearance exercise for the outdated Duke 125? Well, at first glance it does seem so, but then again, is that such a bad thing? If you're hitting motorcycling puberty, the Duke 125, even in its current form, is like hitting first base. And if successful, it might lead to second base, which is basically the global 125 styling coming to India right here. And if that pans out well, there might just be a home run in the waiting. More KTM riders, more service centers, more dealerships, more part sharing, and who knows, maybe an entire generation of KTM enthusiasts demanding for the 790 upgrade. So then the question is, will I put my money down for the Duke 125? Maybe not. But if you can, you probably should.
Dude, suspension कैसा है?
Both hard, क्या?